This is the install video for the Springfield Echelon, Magwell, and base plates. We do have extensions, a +6 and a +2 in the works right now, but for now this is for the Magwell. As far as I know, the Echelon comes with the medium frame, but you can also purchase the large frame from Springfield. The differences is basically only front to back here. You can tell that the large frame has a lot more thickness here. They also have a small frame. We don't make them for the small frame yet, but if we get enough requests, we will. So for the medium frame, it's pretty easy. You feel right about here or so, there's a little square spot that you actually need to push in, and you hear that click of it disengaging, and then push the back strap down. That is the spot that you're pushing in. It is a flex point. I'm not sure exactly what that would be called, but basically it pops into that square hole there to lock in your back strap. Then what you'll do is you'll take our plug, and you, with the screw side down, kind of feed it into the back strap a little bit, and well, actually it'll go all the way up to that stopping point, and then you'll start with that pin going down, and then you actually line up with this hole north towards the bottom to get the plug locking bit into that hole. I'll show you it on the other one a little bit better. But once that is in the hole, you need to push this firmly up against the frame and then push that forward. Now, not all of them, but mine has a little bit of an issue getting that locking point back in. So what you want to do is grab it firmly here and grab it firmly up top and push them together until you hear that click. I forgot to show everything's clear, nothing's loaded. So once that is in place, it matches up nicely there. Then what you want to do is take our Magwell and slide it on to those flare out spots. See how the frame flares out on the sides there? So start sliding it on there. When it gets to this back one, it's a little bit wider, so you want to kind of pinch the frame together a little bit there. And then once it's all the way back, take the screw and put it in there. It is a 5/64 Allen key is what you'll need. I have it on a screwdriver that I made. Start threading it in there. Before it gets tight though, what you want to do is push the Magwell towards the back. So what you can do is grab it with your finger here and firmly pull it towards the back. What that does is that really hooks the front there, and then tighten that good and down so that you don't get any movement there when you pull on the front of that. So when you get a good grip, if you've got larger hands that make contact there, you're not going to be flexing that down at all. It's nice and solid. There is just a tad bit of movement, but if you don't pull it all the way to the back, you will feel a little bit more movement than that. So that is the medium frame. Large frame, same thing, but on the large frame, because of the extra thickness here, can't really see it with the lighting, but way down there is where that button is, but my finger can't depress it because it's so much deeper in there. So if you take a screwdriver or something, reach down in there, find that spot, and then push it in, and then push up the back strap just like before. The best way to tell for sure what you have is the engraving right here. It says F9/40-L, so that is the large frame. The medium frame ends with an M, and the small frame ends with an S. So same thing, grab this plug, and there is that locking nub that goes into the back spot on the frame there. So when you're actually putting it together, is how that looks underneath the back strap. It locks right into there, and it's nice and solid. no movement at all back there. So same thing though, you'll load up the plug into the back strap like that, put that into position, line this up with that hole, get it to where it goes in. This one, it is a lot harder to get that nice and tight to the frame, so get it as tight as you can. As you start going forward, it will tighten itself up. And you heard that one did click into place. It is nice and solid, it's not coming down. So like I said, not all the frames have that issue where you really have to push it up, but make sure that that is good and solid before you attach everything else, because if it's not, when you grab hold, your back strap can slip down a little. Same thing with the Magwell. The Magwells are also engraved with those two different engravings so that you know exactly what you're doing. You'll notice that this one has two different step ledges. That's because the large frame has a ledge right here where it is extended for the large frame bit. Their mold line, I'm not sure why exactly it does that, but it does. And then the actual back strap itself sticks down a little bit. And so the plug matches up with the back of the back strap, and these steps match up with those locations. So same thing, start sliding it on. When you get to that point, kind of pinch it together a little bit, slide it the rest of the way, and you can see that it matches up very nicely. You don't see those really steps at all once it's on there. And same thing with the set screw. Before it gets all the way down, so this one I'm grabbing from the other side, you can also do that and hold it with your thumb. Hold it back, tighten that down good and tight. That way you're not having any looseness there. It's nice and tight. Okay, so on the plates, so this plate was one of the stock plates. I actually modified a little bit just to see if I could get it to work. You can do that. I do not recommend it. These do have a lot thicker material here, so it actually didn't weaken that out too much. So if you're just wanting to save a little bit of money and want to run the stock plate, you can do that. The stock extension that comes with it works fine, no modification necessary. This is the newer style extension, I guess. The ones that actually came with it look a little bit different. Both of them fit perfectly fine. So that is an option to get you going until we make our extensions, if you want to run the stock extension. But for the plate, what you'll do, you'll push down that spring. They don't have an actual locking plate on their plates. It actually locks in on that knob on the spring itself. And so we did the same thing, just copied their design for the attachment. Push that all the way down. And slide it on from the front. Okay, push it forward to make sure it locks in. When we first made them, I did have an issue every once in a while, one wouldn't lock in properly. And so what you do, if that happens, is you can just hit this down on a hard surface and it'll bump that spring over that locking point, and then it'll be nice and captured in there. Same thing to disassemble, just poke that spring up a little bit and then push the plate forward. Matches up very nice with these relief cuts in case you need to strip a mag. And the extended, their extension, basically same thing except for you push it here in the back, and it does have a locking plate. In order to get it, you might need something a little bit longer to get it past that point, and then you'd pull it off. So their locking plate basically hugs the back of the mag when it's down there. I know that they had an issue before where they were actually assembling them wrong and the plate was on the inside. and it looks like this locking plate has wider tips at the edges so that you can't actually do that anymore. They fixed that problem, so that's good. That must be what the newer style extensions are for. They made the change. Once our extensions come out, they will attach differently than this, so you will remove that locking plate completely. But for right now, the Magwells for the medium frame and the large frame will be up on the website. Should be up today, and or by the time I've posted this video, they'll already be up. And the +2s and +6s should be up in the next, hopefully, 2 to 3 weeks, depending on how quickly we can get them produced and then hard anodized. So if you have any other questions or do have interest in the small frame, let me know so we can see how much interest there is and get those going. This is also our enforcer porting for the Echelon. It is running very well. I did some Sharpie marks on the top here because we actually did do a design for this that we will be releasing soon as well. So, God bless. Have a good day.